In Capgemini, everyone is in the game. We shape a common passion for sports and we build inclusive futures for all on and off the field. In this series, we will be hearing from amazing athletes and inspiring role models how they break stereotypes and overcome challenges in sports and in the workplace. I am Karine Vasselin. I'm leading the group diversity and inclusion agenda. I do para-triathlon myself and I will be your host. Today, I'm with Ludovic, a French Ironman athlete, and Ioan from UK, national level sailor and coach, and they are both my colleagues at Capgemini. Together, we will learn from them how they succeeded in performing at the same time in their career and in sports. So maybe, Ludovic, we start with you. And I know that we have something in common because it seems that we both started triathlon after facing some health issues. So can you tell us what inspired you to start with triathlon?
Thank you, Karine. My journey began after my second kidney transplant in 2011. It was, a stressful time filled with doubt, but I slowly rebuilt my physical health because it was really important to come back. 2 years after the transplant in 2014, I completed my first 150 kilometers bike ride and developed an interest in triathlon on the most challenging period on my life. I remember on the beach just before the swimming part. Yes, I was crying because it was quite incredible to be there and to be part of incredible athletes, because the triathlon is a sum of 3 disciplines and very demanding one. And I did my first Alpha Ironman in 2016. Just to remember the distance, we are talking about 1.9 kilometers of swimming, 90 kilometers of biking, and just to finish with a half marathon, 21 kilometers. My first Ironman was in 2018, and the second one in 2019. And I decided to run and to demonstrate to myself that it's possible to do another one in 2023. And I have been qualified for the Ironman World Championship at the same time, just 80 days after. My friends and my colleagues said, okay, you're totally crazy, because it's totally crazy to finish one, but just to finish one and to be prepared for another one 80 days after, it's totally crazy.
Such an impressive track record. Well done, Ludovic. And what about you, Ioan? I've been told that sailing is a long tradition in your family. Can you tell us more about that and how you discovered your own passion for sailing?
Hi, Karine. Yes, 3 generations of sailing in the family. I guess for myself, it was back as a child, my brother and I would watch our father and his crew kind of sail off into the horizon, competing with other yachts. And they kind of disappear for about 5 to 6 hours and come back with these stories about how they've braved all the elements, from strong winds, big waves. And this inspired myself and my brother to take up the sport. And really from the age of 8 years old for myself, I've been actively involved almost probably every single weekend of my life racing, and as my time as a sailing coach, which is about 25 years of coaching now. With all the experiences I've had over the years, it's given me the opportunity to kind of use that skill set and opportunities and leadership and skills on the boat and kind of relay that back into the workplace. In talking about the 3 generations, I was very fortunate that my son, who's now 10, he also learned to sail at 6 years old. So to have the 3 of us on the water at any one moment is a kind of sense of pridefulness, really, that although I must say my son is taking a little bit more keen to football at the stage of the minute, but I'll let him off at the time being. But it's all really good. Yes.
So Ludovic, for instance, you've got a very high demanding career in Capgemini and your career as a champion. But so how do you succeed in combining both?
On a daily basis, it's a challenge, like to beat the competition. But we have many parallels with the passion and with the triathlon. The first topic is about discipline, because we have to demonstrate discipline in our internal processes, external processes, and the way we are managing a pursuit, the way we are pushing for a deal. It's the same. It's the same for this kind of target and to be prepared for an Ironman. And I'm working in 2 different places in France, in Paris and in the north of France. You will see running shoes in each one. That's a kind of discipline and organization. When I am preparing for a race, in fact, I select the hotel not based on the location. Is it close from the office of the client? It's really the first criteria is about is a gym room available in the hotel? To organize and to make sure that I can access to some sport material to be trained. In fact, it's two things: discipline, and the second one about excellence. I believe that excellence is coming from discipline. Okay, this is the result of your investment and the way you are developing your skills at personal level and professional level. It's quite the same. I train hard to be prepared for this kind of long distance. And the race day, it's really just to repeat what you did during the preparation phase.
Thanks for these tips, Ludovic. And what about you, Johan?
Yeah, Karine, I think that's right. I think when you have the passion for both work and your kind of interest outside, it kind of relates quite closely. Time management is obviously pretty kind of high up there in terms of ensuring that your ways of working are balanced correctly. And something I'll always advise to my peers and my juniors joining Capgemini to get that right balance. And I think we're fortunate, of course, with the introduction of hybrid ways of working, it's kind of supported this opportunity to work and enjoy your outside of work interests. I'd be out on the water training probably almost every weekend, and more so during the lighter summer evenings, subject to dad duties, of course. Mustn't forget my son. And I guess within a yacht full of crew members in a racing environment is quite a great analogy really to my workplace. So, for example, those working on the bow, on the front of the boat, taking all the foul weather and the winds, are kind of like our PMO team, if you like. Then you have those in the middle of the boat, your kind of your trimmers and tacticians, your data engineers, your DevOps, your visualization architects, that probably do the harder work for you, getting you over the line, if you like. And then you eventually come into the back of the boat where you got your helm, skipper, navigators. So you're probably your account managers, engagement managers, delivery leads, etc. Where sometimes, if not all the times, we take all the glory. But I was once reminded by a wise person that we must remember that those at the front, so that bow person or that PMO, they're always the first to cross the line. And I think we always have that mindset and remembering that those ahead of you, the guys, and the team members putting all the effort in, they're the ones who take you across that line.
Thank you, Johan and Ludovic. So striking that the skills you refer to as important for success in the workplace or in the sport are not so different and not coming from different fields. And really glad that you brought in discussion the team and family around you, Johan. It takes a whole group, not to say a village, to grow a champion. I am convinced that in sport, in the workplace, and in society in general, inclusion is the way forward. How does it translate in your own sport and in your practice, Ludovic?
Yes, Ironman races are about pushing boundaries and competing with a lot of athletes coming from diverse countries and backgrounds for sure. But at this stage, the gender diversity is quite low. Only 10 or 15% of athletes are women. They are trying to innovate and to push new initiative like women in triathlon, or women for tri, to develop and to be more attractive for women. Because I imagine I am discussing with a lot of my female colleagues in the organization, and I know that it's quite difficult to manage because over time it's very demanding, and you have to invest if you want to succeed, and it's mandatory to invest. With this background, I am able to prioritize the flexibility, and I am able to create a more encouraging work environment and workplace. And ultimately, I think that inclusivity is creating high-performing team. Because you are mixing a lot of skills, a lot of diverse background, and everyone is coming with his own story. That's why it's very, very impactful in my daily job, because we have to create and we have to innovate to build the right value proposal for the client.
Thanks, Ludovic. You're a great advocate for inclusion, and thanks for the tip I should really apply to women in tri. Johan, what about you? Do you consider that sailing is opening to diverse profiles?
Karine, yes, it is very much so. Kind of very fortunate to take part in a sport that is very inclusive to ages, genders, abilities. You don't know really, the ability or the person you're racing against next until you see the results. Obviously, more so now if we look at the America's Cup this coming to the to Barcelona in August, September, October of this year. So for women sailors, for disability sailors or sailability, as we know, to take part in the event on that period of time on the water as well. So it's not just about one event; it's about having that inclusive teams on the water all at the same time. I have an example of one of the ex clubs I was a member of. We had the general sailors, but we were also very much aware of inclusivity towards younger ages or those with less ability to be able to just jump in the boat at their ease. We were awarded a sailing grant, and for that we were able to purchase new sailing boats to provide that inclusive sailing opportunities for the local community, and that instantly put the club back on the map in the area. And I think it's really important to kind of take that back into your workplace, and by understanding your team, understanding who's around you, what abilities everyone have, whether it's their skill sets, whether it's their ways of working, ways of living, lifestyle balance, all of this into one place to ensure that you're supporting your team. That's so important in today's working environment. And fortunately, we get that crossover from work to our interests outside of work.
Thank you so much, Ludovic and Johan. We really learned a lot from both of you on what mutual skills we could gain from practicing with excellence in sports and in the workplace, the individual discipline it requires, the team effort it implies to be successful in both fields while preserving a good life balance. It's been really a pleasure and very inspiring, and I'm sure that the audience will have the same feelings that I have.
Thank you, Karine.
Thank you again.